Hey, Sam here with some tips and tricks for your multiplayer games on Stellaris. I do not suggest using these if your goal is to simply have fun. If your goal is to win your games, go ahead and use these. Personally, I don't use these most of the time as I want to have more fun. I don't simply want to win. If that is your goal, keep watching. Now, the first tip I would give you is do not share information with any other players. If you give people information on your position, economy, or military, they can plan better and they will be more well equipped for dealing with you or your plans. The more you give them, the better they can counter you. If they know where you are, they'll expand in that direction to make sure you don't grow as much. If they know your economy or military, they'll find ways to counter it. So keep as much information close to the chest as possible. Right along with this, I also suggest closed borders. Just so that they can't send ships out to scope out your area, get to know the land. It also prevents them from building past your choke points. This typically doesn't happen in single player as bots don't really like doing this, but players absolutely love to pass choke points, and many do not care about border gore, to my dismay. Make sure to keep those borders closed. Along with this, do not trust your allies. You should work together. That's the goal of your ally, but don't trust that they will be 100% truthful with you. Always be able to counter them and be ready to attack them if they betray you. Rely on them to work in their benefit, not your benefit. Make your deal between each other more beneficial for them, at least in their eyes, than for you. It will make it so that they are less likely to betray you. Now, if you're doing a casual game, it doesn't really matter. But if you're just trying to win, this absolutely matters. People will try to stab you in the back. It will happen eventually. This is also why I do not suggest research agreements with players below you in research, and I don't suggest signing defense pacts and non-aggression pacts unless it protects you personally. Like if it prevents you from being attacked from behind, or it prevents you from being able to be attacked by a larger threat, or if it protects both of you and lets you work together to take on somebody who is threatening both players. This is a very give or take position to have, but you should be very careful with these treaties. Research agreements can completely wipe out an edge you have on other players because they will gain the research and they could sign a research agreement with somebody else and it chains a little bit. So I would be very careful and wary. And defense packs and non-aggression packs make it so that you have limited options. Now, I do suggest keeping all your directions safe but one, so you can focus all your resources in one direction, so you can really take on that threat. And this is where I would apply the defense packs and non-aggression packs, but be careful. You do not want to be stuck in a position where you have a non-aggression pact with somebody, and they open up their borders to your enemy, and they can bring ships in to attack your homeworld, but you can't attack them back. This can happen. It is not a fun experience. Be careful with your non-aggression and defense packs. They can hurt you. Along with that, never trade favors. They only hurt you. Unlike defense packs and non-aggression packs where they can help you, trading favors now can only hurt you, as the rework has made it so favors can only work if you are voting against the person you have the favor from. Trading with your ally so that you could get a bunch of favors down just to win a vote, it can't happen anymore. It doesn't work in the game. So the point of trading favors is completely wiped. It doesn't help you, it only hurts you. Be aware of this, so avoid them completely. Along with that, pay attention to the galactic community. The galactic community has a big part in the game now. Federations has made soft power a real thing, and soft power can hurt you when it comes to your military and economy. People can pass resolutions that you might not notice are passing that will completely wipe out your economy or make it almost impossible for you to fight back because they either have more political power or these are sanctions that will wipe out how you gain your own political power and put you in breach of galactic law. It is very hard to come back from somebody passing a law that puts you in breach of galactic law, and it's very hard to come back from somebody who continues to dominate when it comes to political power and makes what you are most powerful in, for instance research, weaker and weaker when it comes to the galactic community. Stay on top of that tab. Make sure you know about everything that is passing and that you know what it is doing to your military, your economy, and how you gain political power. It will hurt you. Along with this, more similar to how I handle defense pacts, non-aggression pacts, and research agreements, when it comes to megacorps and their branch offices, if you are the megacorp, try to get the person you are building the branch office on to help pay for it. If you aren't the megacorp, make sure the megacorp pays for it in full. These branch offices help both parties. They help the megacorp more clearly, so stay aware of that. But overall, it does help both parties. So I almost always suggest them, unless they're a criminal syndicate, then declare war and use it as a reason to attack them to gain more systems. But when it's a neutral megacorp, it will help you, but it will strengthen them as well. Try to get the most out of it as you can. Now, along with economy, bots in single player typically gain a bonus. Players do not. Players don't get any production bonus, and a lot of players like to take certain planets that are very good in certain areas and make that planet specifically designed to make a certain product, like energy or alloys. When you are scoping out your enemy, find the planets that produce alloys and energy and target them in the first couple days of the war. If you can take these planets, they will be unable to build ships, as they won't have a consistent flow of alloys and energy, and their ships will be worth less, as if they go negative and they go all the way down to 0 energy, they're dead. There's no way they can fight back when their fleets are worth half as much and they can't build any more. Make sure that you protect your own planets that are focused on these productions and target your enemies. With all these tips, you should win your multiplayer matches as long as your empire doesn't get destroyed by RNG or your empire is terribly put together. Overall, this should give you an edge over your enemies, and if you follow all of them, you should be able to win. I hope this helped. If it did, give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. That would help a ton. If you enjoyed this content, I suggest you check out some of my other videos.